Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Giselle and today I'm going to talk about my top 5 fragrances for life. Now, as you can see, I'm au naturel today, no makeup day. The heat wave, guys, is hitting here on the East Coast. It's hitting so hard that I had to choose between doing my makeup or filming, and I didn't want to keep procrastinating filming. So here I am. I hope you don't mind. A little bit of lip gloss and that's it. So the first fragrance I have for you today is Lost in Paradise Extrait de Parfum. Actually, both fragrances deserve a spot on this list. However, I reviewed the original, the Eau de Parfum, so many times that I thought that you will be more interested in hearing about this one, because this one is one of my top 5 for life for sure. But I thought that you will be more interested in hearing about this one, which of course it's also one of my top 5 for life. It's absolutely stunning. This fragrance opens very bright. Let me grab a blotter. So stunning. So this fragrance is stronger than the original for sure. It's deeper, it's sweeter, and it's also woody in the dry down. It's definitely more complex than the original. It's sweet and very juicy. However, it's not dewy and it doesn't have that dewy, watery component that the original has. That makes it so special, and that's thanks to the lychee note they added to the original. This one is different. It's very similar, however, it's different enough. So I think you can definitely have both. It has one of my favorite fruity notes in perfumery, which is black currant, which is the super versatile note, and here it takes the more traditional direction, which is being sweet, juicy, and fruity. It's very sophisticated, very upscale, very elevated. And like all its Nihilo fragrances, it exudes that you're not trying too hard to impress anyone. It is a very beautiful scent, definitely worth the hype. I think it's also very unique in its own way because aside from the similarities with the original, because of course this is a flanker, the original is the one that started it all. However, aside from the similarities with the original, this fragrance is very unique. I've never smelled anything like this before. Truly gorgeous. I think this is one of the fragrances I have in my entire collection that I can safely say it's worth every single penny. The dry down is absolutely beautiful. It also includes 𝗂𝗏𝗃 wood. I don't know if you're familiar with this synthetic molecule. It was created by 𝗣V𝗿𝗿𝗀𝗍. It's trademarked by them, and it's created through biotechnology, where enzymes are added to the patchouli oil leftovers, which is a byproduct actually. So when those enzymes are added to that liquid waste, once the patchouli oil is extracted from the patchouli leaves, these enzymes transform this byproduct and strip the byproduct from that typical earthy, wet soil type of scent that patchouli has, and it's a turn off for many people, including myself. I don't like that patchouli that smells like wet soil, for example, that smells like something damp, almost putrid sometimes. I don't like that type of patchouli. However, I love 𝗂𝗏𝗃 wood because it has the complexity, the depth patchouli provides. It also has a hint of patchouli, but it's a very clean and bright type of patchouli. So 𝗂𝗏𝗃 wood has nothing to do with wood itself. It has to do with patchouli. It lasts about 6-7 hours on my skin. It lasts longer than the original. Of course, the original is an Eau de Parfum. I think it's an all year round type of scent. However, I think it's a great fragrance for this time of year because it will pull sweeter and deeper. So if you haven't yet, please try Lost in Paradise by ex Nihilo. This is the Extrait de Parfum again, but also try the Eau de Parfum because it's absolutely beautiful. Actually, I'm still team original, but I love this one too. The next fragrance on my list today is God of Fire by Stephane Humbert Lucas. I reviewed this fragrance many times on my channel. There's nothing new in the fragrance community, nothing new in the fragrance world, and certainly nothing new on my channel. But I review this fragrance so many times because I love it and it fits in so many great categories, especially this time of year. So, God of Fire, it's a fruity, floral, tropical scent. It's absolutely stunning. It opens very bright, kind of sharp, also very juicy. We have a lemon note here, but the lemon here, it's like a candied lemon rather than zesty and tart. There's nothing like this on the market. Trust me when I tell you this. However, that being said, This is not a solid note. This is a fruity floral with mango as the star of the show, undoubtedly. However, you can also pick the floral aspect. You can also pick the ginger here, which gives the fragrance a kick, especially in the opening. So when people use 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 as a benchmark for mango fragrances, I personally feel I will be misleading you, because this fragrance won't give you the feeling like you're eating the fruit. Yes, it's very strong in mango. I will say the mango here, it's a fantasy mango. You smell the mango for sure, but it's not the ripe fruity mango that you can find in solid notes sometimes. Solid notes are fragrances based around one single note, and those tend to be the more photorealistic, which this isn't. This fragrance is actually very complex in the best way possible. It has a beautiful woody note, and it also has oud, but you can't even pick it, to be honest. The oud here is just giving complexity and depth to the fragrance without adding scent. So even if you hate oud, don't worry, you won't smell oud here. It's a super long-lasting fragrance. It lasts about 8 to 10 hours. In the more humid the weather, the better. In projection, to me this is like a 10 out of 10 in all the departments. Projection and sillage are nuclear. I share a story with you before where a family followed my trail because, quoting themselves, they were sniffing something absolutely gorgeous that they never smelled before, and they wanted to know where that scent was coming from. And they also told me that at the beginning they thought it was from the lobby, from the hotel, but then they realized it wasn't coming from the lobby. So they decided to just follow the trail, and then they noticed it was me. So they stopped me and they asked me what I was wearing, and then they shared with me the whole story. And the funny thing was that the husband told me, I'm not even into fragrances, I don't care for fragrances, but this one, she has to have it. So I had to write down the name for her, and I hope she got it. I don't know, I never heard from them, but I hope she got it. It's an incredibly beautiful scent. Sillage is, if I had to pick my top 3 in my entire collection, this is one of the top 3 fragrances with the best sillage ever. The trail this fragrance leaves is out of this world. The proof is in the pudding. I just shared this story with you, and every time I wear it, I get tons and tons of compliments. This is actually my 2nd bottle, but I'm going for my 3rd bottle because it's almost empty. Absolutely stunning. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, guys, this perfume should come with a warning because it's so addictive. Every time I wear this perfume, I can't stop sniffing my wrist, my arms, or wherever I spray it on. So guys, if you haven't yet, I think this is the best, my #1 fragrance from this house. I highly encourage you to try 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. The next fragrance on my top 5 for life list is Pacific Chill by Louis Vuitton. Should I review this fragrance? I think the scent speaks volumes about this perfume. I absolutely love it. Love it. It's a very fresh, airy, very modern type of scent. It's slightly minty without the typical camphorous scent that mint fragrances have. This one doesn't have that, but it does have that minty component that makes it very fresh and very invigorating. Again, we have black currant here. It is a very dominant note in this perfume together with basil. I'll say basil and black currant are the 2 dominant notes here. In fact, this is my scent of the day. This is what I'm wearing today, so I'm gonna spray a little bit more here. Stunning perfume. I'm so happy they make these bottles refillable because I will buy this fragrance again for sure. And once you buy the bottle, the refill costs way less. So beautiful scent, very fresh, as I was saying. It's very zen, very cooling, very invigorating. Such a beautiful fragrance. Definitely black currant and basil forward. These 2 are the most dominant notes in this fragrance, as I said earlier. Black currant, guys, is nothing new in perfumery. It was first introduced by Guerlain in the late 60s, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very mass appealing note, and I think that's the reason why in the last years we have seen lots of fragrances with black currant as the star of the show. But I just wanted to tell you it's nothing new, and it's been there for quite some time. I wear this fragrance all the time, all year round, but to be honest, summer is its season. It's stunning perfume, citrusy, fresh, juicy, leafy green. It's a green fragrance without being herbaceous or grassy. So sweet, I would say slightly sweet. Don't expect it to be a gourmand sweet fragrance. it doesn't have that level of sweetness, but it is a sweet fragrance or sweet leaning scent. And it's also musky in the base. So the dry down is very, very beautiful. It's a pretty linear fragrance, doesn't change dramatically, except for the fact that the dry down, as I said, it's pretty musky. Very soothing, very cooling, very relaxing, very zen, as I said earlier. I can't rave enough about this fragrance. Let me tell you, the Pacific chill makes me think of being outside on a deck, overlooking the ocean, drinking a green smoothie with a very beautiful breeze. It's definitely unisex, although I think it's feminine leaning. At least my husband, for example, he wouldn't wear this fragrance in a million years. He says this is for ladies. Even though this fragrance is marketed for men, if you go to the Louis Vuitton boutique, it sits on the shelf with other male fragrances. However, I agree with him. So although it's unisex, I also think it's feminine leaning. I think it's a very modern type of green scent. And honestly, I think the Pacific Chill truly encapsulates the concept of modern perfumery in a bottle. Pretty long-lasting fragrance. It lasts about 6 hours on my skin, which is kind of surprising considering its scent profile. Usually green fragrances tend to be very airy, very soft, and short-lived. However, this one lasts 6-7 good hours, at least on my skin. Remember, this is 100% subjective, but on my skin, I can pull anywhere between 6 and 7 hours. So if you haven't yet, I highly encourage you to try Pacific Chill. Now, it's very hard to get samples or decants. Not everyone has a Louis Vuitton boutique where they live, but I'll do my best to find decants online. And if I do, I'll make sure to link it on screen. So if you haven't yet, I highly encourage you to try Pacific Chill, because if you like this type of fresh, airy, green, sweet, juicy, bright, zen type of fragrances, this one is a must try. It's a dreamy fragrance. The next one on my list is Stellar Times. It's another Louis Vuitton fragrance. I absolutely love Louis Vuitton fragrances, as you can see. And this one belongs to the Extrait line. Pacific Chill is another parfum, while this one is an Extrait. Now, the bottle was created in collaboration with one of the most renowned architects of all time, which is Frank Gehry. So the bottle, especially the lid, is a work of art. And the fragrance, guys, I have no words to describe this perfume. This is seriously, this will be very hard to say because I love all of my fragrances. But if I had to pick one fragrance, one out of my entire collection, it will be this one. I absolutely love Stellar Times. It's incredible. It opens pretty bright, pretty fizzy. It's sugary as well. And I also picked something marshmallowy, and it doesn't have marshmallow in the composition. However, it does have orange blossom. And orange blossom, I don't know if you know this, but orange blossom is used to create the marshmallow accord. Marshmallow is not a note, it's an accord. And orange blossom is one of the main notes used in perfumery to create this marshmallow accord. Now, even though we don't have marshmallow here, since the orange blossom is pretty sugary, it reminds me a lot of the marshmallow accord. Sometimes the orange blossom is a little bit more heady, more indolic, or even clean, but in this particular case, it's very sugary, and that's where I get in that marshmallowy accord. So if you like marshmallow in fragrances, this fragrance is a must try. Although it's not a gourmand scent, it does have a very, very subtle gourmand quality thanks to this sugary orange blossom that pulls a little bit like marshmallow. But remember, this is all personal. We all have different perceptions. This is my personal perception. But yeah, it definitely pulls marshmallow in my opinion. It's very sheer. It's a very fluffy type of scent, very ethereal, very translucent. It's absolutely stunning. Every time I wear this fragrance, I get compliments. It is a head turner, guaranteed. This one and God of Fire are my two head turners, not just on my list, but two of the fragrances that turn more heads in my entire collection, for sure. This fragrance is also ambery, but it's not the thick, dense, heavy type of amber. It actually matches perfectly the ethereal component that this fragrance has. It's sweet, as I said. It's very luxurious smelling. It smells very, very expensive. It smells like every single dollar it costs. Very, very expensive, by the way, but you won't regret. And I'm really happy that it is refillable. In fact, let me tell you, my husband is not into fragrances at all, couldn't care less. Now, when I wear this fragrance, he goes nuts. It drives him crazy. He loves this fragrance. This one is one of his favorites. I asked him the other day, and this is number one for him. And that's a lot to say because it's coming from someone who doesn't care about fragrance. It's effortless chic, super addictive. This is another one that every time I wear it, I can't stop sniffing my wrist or wherever I spray it. It lasts forever on my skin. Projection and sillage are nuclear. Now, when I say it's nuclear, it doesn't mean it's like a punch in your face. It means it's very powerful, very potent. It lasts forever. Every time I spray this fragrance, when I come back home, I smell it in my bedroom, I smell it in my bathroom, wherever I spray this fragrance, I still smell it lingering in the air. And projection is about 2 arm lengths. When you smell this fragrance, you won't believe that it has such incredible projection because it's more on the softer side and it has that fluffy, airy, sheer, effervescent component that makes scent profiles seem to be weak, but this one is not. This is a powerhouse. I tell you more. The first time I tried this fragrance, I did something I never do, especially when fragrances have this price tag, which is buying it on the spot. I just spray it on, I wait for a couple minutes, and I knew this fragrance was for me. I knew I had to have it, and just pull my credit card and that was it. And it was a one-way ticket because this is a fragrance I'll keep repurchasing for life. And by the way, PSA here, public service announcement, I've heard rumors that Stellar Times was going to be discontinued, but those are just rumors. I talked directly to a representative at the Louis Vuitton boutique, and they confirmed the fragrance is being manufactured, and they have never heard about anything being discontinued. So, yeah, just wanted to let you know in case you hear that rumor. But guys, Stellar Times, they couldn't have chosen a better name because it is truly stellar. Beautiful, dreamy fragrance. And the last fragrance for today, guys, is Divina by Paradis. Now, I reviewed this fragrance before, and I also wanted to show you the damp because I want you guys to see that I truly wear my fragrances. And dents speak by themselves. This is a lot because this is a I think this is a 3.4. Let me see. Yes, this is a 3.4 bottle, and I'm almost halfway through. So this is a fragrance I truly, truly love. It's definitely one of my top 5 for life, not just top 10, but top 5. It's incredible. It's a super sexy, floral, resinous, ambery, sweet, creamy, gourmand type of fragrance. But mind you, when I say gourmand here, I'm talking about a gourmand component, a very subtle gourmand touch to it, and not because it's reminiscent of a dessert or pastry or cake or whatever. It's a sweet fragrance, very creamy, very intoxicating, highly addictive. It reminds me a lot of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I said that before, and in fact, I recommended this fragrance to people who told me that they really like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 scent profile, but they can't with the tuberose because the tuberose in that fragrance is really strong, which is a shocker for me because I can't stand tuberose and I love 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. However, many people don't like it. It's a very polarized type of scent, and to those who share that with me, that they do like the scent profile but they can't with the tuberose, I recommended them this one, and they fell so hard for it. They all loved it. So I highly recommend this fragrance if you like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 because highly likely you will also love Divina. And even if you don't like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 but you still like those type of creamy, deep, white floral fragrances, but you don't like tuberose, for example, this one is a must try. It's very, very resinous. However, the way this whole composition has been blended makes the resins here perfectly suitable for this time of year. And actually, the hotter and the more humid the weather, the better. Let me try it on my blotter. It's so sensual. I can't understand why this fragrance doesn't get all the love it deserves. More people need to discover this fragrance. I think we'll never be able to explain why certain fragrances make it to the spotlight, while other fragrances, oftentimes even better, go completely unnoticed. So I'm here to tell you Divina is absolutely divine. Super sexy, very voluptuous, very velvety, very creamy, deep resinous. As I was saying, the resins here play a very important role because it makes the fragrance very sweet and really, really long lasting. This is a head turner, date night material, very feminine, super sensual. It opens very bright, juicy, and creamy. It has orange, it has mandarin, and while those notes are in the top notes, you will never lose that bright juiciness throughout the entire lifetime of the fragrance. The dry down, it's resinous and it's more vanillic. It's a little bit more musky. It's where the composition gets grounded. It's ambery, definitely resinous, and vanillic. It's very vanillic in the dry down, and that vanilla is what contributes to this gourmand component. It's very, very beautiful, very addictive, and very intoxicating. I can't rave enough about Divina. It lasts about 8 hours on my skin with an above average projection, and it also leaves a very, very beautiful sillage. And as I was saying earlier, the hotter and the more humid the weather, the better. That's why I think it's a great, great fragrance for summer. So guys, this fragrance is highly intoxicating, highly underrated. Do yourself a favor and try Divina by Paradis de Scent. You have to enjoy this type of sensual, voluptuous fragrances. It's very deep, as I was saying, sweet, very sensual. It's date night materials, as I said earlier. And if you like that type of scent profiles, very ambery, very resinous and vanillic scents, this fragrance, it's definitely a must try. Divina by Paradis de Scent. So guys, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my video. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy my content. And if that's the case, I will truly appreciate if you consider subscribing. Now, if you do, please don't forget to hit the bell icon so you won't miss my upcoming videos. And the same applies to my loyal subscribers. If you haven't yet, don't forget to hit the bell icon. Please guys, stay safe. I hope the heat wave doesn't hit you too hard. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.